MVC nejaké novinky? Stále nemám e-mailos. Hovorili do 18. tak hádam. Kedy MVC? Keď bude. Chaj, na niektoré veci nemám odpoveď vôbec. Viem toľko, čo vy. Lebo všetko riešime na streame, chápeš? Všetko. Takmer. Takže keď príde e-mail, budeme hrať. Nemám e-mail, nehráme. Easy. Videl si to nové video, čo dali pred dňom o My Winter Car? Nevidel. Daj mi link, pozrieme to. Toto je nové video o My Winter Car, ha?
One and only My Winter Car, the game that we are waiting.
To je nejakého Dexnix, takže to je random nejaký youtuber. Čo za píčovinu?
For so long is finally coming out soon. But when? This is the answer we are looking for. So that's why today's video was even made, to let you know if the game is coming out this year or not. In the last video, we talked about everything about the main job in My Winter Car. So if you haven't watched it yet, make sure to do so. Moving forward, we got loads of information about the game on Steam forums. But before we start, I just want to all let you know that this channel is not ran by Topless Gun, as some of you said, and I'm making those videos only because there is no other channels around doing it. So I myself wanted to learn more about the game and found out about Steam forums that most of the people don't know, and just share it here. So if you have any more comment about how this channel is not giving good information, you can freely leave. Thanks. And now, we have 19 more questions answered from the Topless Gun. What difficulties did you face while creating My Winter Car? As it is mostly built upon MSC, there aren't many new technical systems that I had to solve. However, there are a few massive features that took a lot of work and were more complex than anything before. Sourcing all the required audio and music content was also difficult since I couldn't do it all myself. Is the player's job boring? Yes. Is there a dedicated place to buy clothes? No. Can you tell the difficulty of ice racing? It is pretty difficult, a whole other discipline to master. If you're good at rally, that skill isn't very useful here. Winning the event requires focus, driving skill, and quick repairs if the car breaks. It's a great challenge and a lot of fun, even when failing. Can we expect my summer car to leave early access soon? I truly hope so. Pretty cool, going to the next one. Unable to do things with cold fingers, like you can't tighten or loose bolts nuts on the car if your body temperature is too low. And in general, you are unable to do things which need sense of touch if you are getting too cold. Also, your screen middle dot cursor should start shaking when you are getting too cold, which makes fixing/building main project car much more difficulty when you need readjust your aim constantly. Just some weird thoughts I got in my mind. Hopefully, dozens of people understands what I'm talking about. I need to consider some mechanic related to this so that there was more importance in getting warm garage where to build, although it shouldn't be mandatory either. Me personally, I would love to have this in the game. What do you think about this one? Let me know down in the comments. Also, please subscribe while you are down there, thank you. Then someone asked about the windshield fogging, and he answered, yes, windshield does fog. Does the windshield fog up faster if you are drunk? No, should it? It fogs faster if you are sweaty, however. Yeah, the alcohol in the breath can cause the car windows to fog up quite significantly. I looked up why this happens, and apparently the explanation is that the ethyl alcohol vapors emitted from an intoxicated person's breath can cause water molecules to attract to alcohol, increasing the moisture in the air and causing the car windows to fog up faster. I've definitely noticed it IRL with drunk passengers in my car, causing the windows to become foggy. Well, that is surely interesting. This is insane. I mean, look, if you run and you get sweaty, your car will fog faster. That's really good. The next ones are suggestions and questions. It would be nice to see some parked cars around the map in the game. I am adding more parked cars. Yes, it makes sense because moving around without a car is difficult due to the cold. Questions. If you just stopped adding features, how much can be the estimated progress? If I stopped adding features, I'd say it would take a few weeks to make it good enough for early access. Will there be an alternate ending for my summer car? I would love to include one, but I'm not sure if it's practical at this point. It's hard to estimate how much work it would take. How fast can the sorbet go? More than 100? Less than 200? Here's an idea for you. Release game and add new features with future updates to keep the game in active development for longer? It is a possibility, but not sure how people welcome unfinished game again. I personally, as a gamer, do not have anything against the concept of early access. Then we have some questions about the main job, which I also included in the last video. But if you haven't watched it, here you have it. We know the player will work in an office, but how large is the office building and how many other people will work in it? Hard to say whether it's big or small. Maybe too big. There are about 6 people working, if I remember correctly. If there are other people in the office, will Will we be able to interact with them? Not really, but you can listen to them talk. Are we able to book a day or two off every few weeks? Yes. For example, if you work 10 hours from Monday to Thursday, you gain plus 8 hours, which means you can take Friday off. Will the work we'll be doing vary? Or will it be the same every day? Is the work brain dead and boring, or does it require some skill to do well? Everything is terrible. But yeah, you get better at it the more you do it. But then again, why would you? You're just a disposable tool to create profit for the employer without any chance to climb up the ladder. It's all about slacking off as much as possible. It's a terrible workplace. Don't go there. Moving to questions about the main car. Will the Rivet have randomized plates for each player or the same as MSC with a single plate? Yes, I'll try to implement randomized plates. Will we be able to see Rivet's mileage, such as a 6-digit odometer? If it has a 5-digit odometer, can we tell how many times it rolled over from past inspection records? You're buying a body shell. There's no way of knowing unless I include historical paperwork with the car. Will different trims have different digit odometers? Base may be 5 and higher trims having 6. Same odometer for all trims. Will there be more achievements for building certain trims of the Rivet or getting a classic car certificate? Absolutely. Maybe one of the end goals is to get it certified and sold for maximum possible price. Will Rivet have different sounds when we change the exhaust? Can we make it backfire like rally cars do without a bad tune? Yes, but I need good backfire sound samples before adding that. Will Rivet's engine have SPI options or be carbureted only? Or will there be eco-based trims, carb only? Will we have more than one set of hubcaps with different styles, or will they change according to trims? Yes. Now moving to general questions about the game. The biggest question I have is, will my winter car read saved game data from my summer car? Namely, Jokey unaliving himself or Susky being pregnant. Yes, some small details like Susky being pregnant will carry over, but the experience in my winter car will remain distinct. If yes, will other smaller details transfer, like prison tattoos, the watch? Smaller details like tattoos and the watch might transfer but not drastically impact the story. What will be the situation with Suski and your child, assuming it's canon you knock her up, regardless of question 1? Will the player have a little to take care of as well? Will Susky have run off with your child? Story elements, including Susky's situation and whether the player has a child, are still undecided. Will there be any sort of features to assist in mod development? Will the game be easier to create mods for? Limited mod support will be available, similar to My Summer Car. Will major development continue on for a long time after release, like My Summer Car, or will it be near complete on release? Development will continue beyond release as long as there are new features and ideas to explore. Expect more content than MSC at launch. Bonus question. This question is mostly just picking your brain, but in the far future, after my winter car...
Že vraj sa nebude tak cheatovať, že vraj sa nebude používať textiak, chápeš to? Že vraj to nejde.
You'd like to create next? What would you find interesting to create into a game? Another car game like My Summer Winter Car? Maybe another original game? A pure racing game, unless AI development significantly changes the game landscape. Since different types of suspensions for rivets have been confirmed, as a lover of lowered cars, I want to know if I can low the rivet body on the ground, or as low as possible. Sure, take springs out. Well, does the car move without springs? Yes, but it is not very practical. Then, we have another suggestion about the game. We'll most likely see the summer theater go, so what about a winter market, Talvimarkanat, that arrives to Parajarvi, maybe like once every 2-3 in-game weeks. Whatever. Canned goods and other things would be sale there. Some kind of gadgets, lanterns, carpets, stuff to lighten up the town spirits. There won't be winter market. It is completely out of scope of the game, but there will be sausages and coffee available in the races. Then, it was a funny question, if Topless Gun is dead, maybe I am...
Je to něco jako, mama zas som obral ty chudáky o 700 €. Michálku, já to nechápem. Ty jsi takej tupec.
Čo?
Navařit si neumíš. Víc jak 3 slova neprečítáš plynule. Dýchku si neumíš vypnout. Tak radši predstěraš, že je zaplá. Schválně. A
ja vôbec neviem, o čom si rozprával.
okrádat tak inteligentné a vzdělané lidi. Mám pravdu.
Inteligentné a vzdelanie si použil tie dve slovíčka, akože v tomto čete.
Dead and replaced by more efficient AI. Then we again have loads of questions in the next one. Is it going to be possible to cook more types of food? For example, make pasta with tomato sauce and meatballs.
Na tomto streame na 100% viac použitých emotov ako písmen napísaných, chápeš? Tak inteligentní sú tí ľudia.
That people could regulate the weight of the character better? No, this is not a cooking game. Will the windows for the vehicles get frosty enough that we'll have to scrape of the ice before driving? Yes, some of the cars have this feature, but not all. Would it be possible to hang out with different people? Most likely at the bar, like Juko or Petteri. Well, it depends on what hanging around means. This is Finland in the end. Will the main character be married to Susky? I'm not sure if this one was asked before, but I wanted to know if you'd get scolded by her, if you get home too late, or if you burn the sausages on the stove. Marital status is not being disclosed in the game. Will drinking too many energy drinks, coffee, have the potential to give you a heart attack? Well, not at this point, but I guess it could be added at some point if people want such a thing. Not sure if it is too punishing. Then again, the main character is still young, so it would not be very likely to have a heart attack anyway. Will there be any jobs that don't require the player to get hired yet have the potential to be a sustainable source of income? Yes, and they probably pay more than the regular job. It depends on how you play. Then, we have questions about gambling in Mu Winter Car. It would be epic if we could bet on rally or ice racing drivers, and it would incentivize people to watch the rally. Yeah, I agree it would be fun, but it would also illegal in Finland, and illegal underground betting would change the outcomes of the races. It is not realistic at all, but I personally like the idea, so I do not know. At least you can bet ice hockey matches. The next one was about bolt sizes. Hopefully we will have more realistic bolt sizes. In MSC, the cylinder head bolts to the block with 7 mm bolts, which is pretty unrealistic because it should have at least 17 mm bolt heads. Same with the wheel bolts. In MSC they are 13 mm headed. I know that if we have up to 19 mm bolt heads, it will need a much bigger socket set and will complicate the possibility to remember every bolt size, but the system would be so much more realistic and more complicated, which fits the game. It would be most easiest fix to do right away for MSC, MWC, but it would render every building tutorial obsolete right in instant. That is the reason I never fixed it. But you could just add it to MWC, or does it already have the more realistic system? Sure, it can be done for MWC. Perfect now to add this. It will take another 6 months for the game EA. It takes literally 5 minutes to change the bolt sizes. A pretty nice detail. Next one is, will the inspection be more complicated that Lindell tests the lights and emissions? Or is Lindell just going to poke a hole in Rivet's bottom like in MSC? I would love to see him floor the car for emission test and player's beloved engine tears itself apart. And the last one, however, the car does have way more parts, so I think both factors kind of cancel each other out. Wow, it depends mostly on how much you hoard spare parts laying around in the map. For that reason, there are easy ways of getting rid of the useless parts, even for some money. But even when the car is fully built and has more parts and more details, it performs better than car in the MSC. And that's it for this video. Make sure to...
Do piče, už niekto tu je. To bude ťažké a kokot, chápeš to? Kedy ho chcem hrať, keď mi to príde, tak refreshujem e-mail každú chvíľu, kurva, či mi to už neposlal. Ale hovoril, že do 18. alebo do 20. alebo kedy, že by to mali dostávať, one kľúče niektorí, takže dúfam, že ako zrovna to budem ja, chápeš? Chápeš? Kto by mám poslať, developer? Dáme mi sekundu. Top 5 vecí, co bys měl vědět o My Winter Car.
5 things you need to know.
Koľko, ja už nechcem počúvať ten hlas, že som skoro zaspal, či tebe, že ma to unavilo. Jebem ho. Už niekto tu je, ja si zistím všetko, čo potrebujem, chlapci. Chápeš to? Všetko.